Welcome to Moody's One-Shot Lore. I'm your narrator, and I'll be guiding you through the tales from Contentium Academy. Please remember to like, subscribe, and follow all our social media channels below to stay updated on the latest stories. Let's dive into this intriguing world together. Jess Miller sat at her desk, fingers dancing across the keyboard as she focused intently on her computer screen. Her friend Morgan was pacing the room, a whirlwind of nerves and excitement as she sifted through her wardrobe, seeking the perfect outfit for her date with Brandon. "Just wear anything. I don't think he cares," Jess muttered absently, her attention still fixed on her work. "Well, I do care, and I need your opinion, Jess," Morgan replied with a light-hearted smile, hoping for some guidance. Jess glanced up, rolling her eyes as she scanned Morgan's outfit options. "That one, I guess," she said, pointing to one of the choices without much conviction. "Perfect!" Morgan exclaimed, grabbing the opposite outfit that Jess had indicated. "Why even ask me?" Jess muttered, her tone mellow. "Because I value your opinions, just not your fashion choices. That's what makes us best friends," Morgan quipped, her smile infectious. As Morgan dashed off to her date with Brandon, Jess found herself alone once again. With a sigh, she gathered her things and made her way to a nearby junkyard, collecting faulty wires and other odds and ends. She retreated to an abandoned building, her mind consumed with a new project, a robotic spider. Hours passed, the sun setting unnoticed as Jess worked tirelessly on her creation. Finally, as night fell, she packed up her belongings and returned to her dorm, weary but satisfied. Back at her computer, Jess continued to work, the hum of her thoughts drowned out by an obsessive knocking at her door. "What now?" Jess muttered irritably, opening the door to find Morgan standing there, tears streaming down her face, a red mark marring her cheek. Jess's concern flared as she enveloped Morgan in a tight hug, her mind racing with questions. Morgan tearfully recounted the events of the evening, revealing that Brandon had hit her. Enraged, Jess urged Morgan to report the assault to the authorities, but Morgan hesitated, fearful of repercussions from Brandon's influential family. Determined to seek justice, Jess reached for her phone. "What are you doing?" Morgan asked, her voice trembling with tears. "I'm calling Moody and Temper and going to send them a commission. They'll handle Brandon and his father without issue," Jess replied, her anger palpable. Morgan acted swiftly, snatching the phone from Jess's hand and hanging up. "I don't want them involved. They'll take things too far or make things 10 times worse," Morgan pleaded, her desperation evident. "He shouldn't get away with this, Morgan," Jess insisted, her voice stern with conviction. "I will deal with this in my own way. Please, just be here for me. That's all I need right now," Morgan implored, wrapping her arms around Jess in a tight embrace. "Sure," Jess replied, her tone softening reluctantly. Jess acquiesced, her eyes smoldering with suppressed fury. She vowed to support Morgan in her own way, though her heart yearned for more decisive action. As Morgan drifted off to sleep in Jess's dorm, Jess's mind churned with a plan. Silently, she gathered surveillance equipment, slipping out into the night with a steely resolve. With precision and stealth, Jess scaled the side of the mansion with the agility of a cat. Jess disabled the sensors with precision, slipping into the sprawling estate unnoticed. She moved like a ghost, evading security guards as she made her way through the labyrinthine halls. With practiced skill, she placed hidden cameras and microphones in every room, ensuring no corner would remain untouched by her surveillance. Satisfied with her work, she slipped away as stealthily as she had come, leaving no trace of her presence behind. Back in her dorm room, Jess connected her computer to the cameras in Brandon's father's house, her eyes narrowing as she observed Brandon and his father locked in a heated argument. "You idiot! How dare you risk our family name?" Brandon's father thundered, the sound of his slap reverberating through the room. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it," Brandon whimpered, tears staining his cheeks. "You risked everything. What you did to that girl. What if someone saw you?" Brandon's father's voice dripped with disdain. "You are a failure, a disgrace. I'm ashamed you are my son. I won't let an idiot that shares my blood drag me down with him. From now on, you will do nothing without running it by me first. Do you understand? Brandon's father's words were laced with venom, his anger palpable. Yes, sir, Brandon replied meekly, his eyes downcast in shame. I'll clean up the mess you made. Hopefully nobody saw anything. Now get out of my face. Brandon's father spat, his demeanor cold and unforgiving. Jess halted the recording, her gaze shifting to Morgan, still asleep in her bed. Knowing that her friend wouldn't want this story circulating around campus, Jess made a decision. With determination, she began typing away on her computer, crafting a video with careful consideration. The following day, Jess and Morgan strolled around campus, but something was amiss. People kept glancing at Morgan, whispering amongst themselves before approaching her with words of support and sympathy. Morgan was bewildered by the sudden attention and sought answers from Jess, but Jess feigned ignorance, claiming she didn't know what was happening. As they carried on with their day, Morgan couldn't shake the feeling of eyes on her, noticing students staring at their phones and then at her. Puzzled, Morgan approached a group of onlookers, demanding to know what was going on. With solemn expressions, they showed her a video posted by someone named Techno, revealing Brandon and his father's altercation and their involvement in Morgan's ordeal. Humiliated and deeply upset, Morgan felt betrayed by the revelation, realizing that only Jess could have revealed the truth. Fuming with anger and hurt, she stormed to Jess's dorm, her voice cracking as she confronted her friend. "Why did you do that? You had no right." Morgan's voice trembled with emotion as tears welled in her eyes. Jess attempted to placate her, insisting, "It's okay. No one knows it was me. The academy will investigate Brandon and his father, and you won't get in trouble." But Morgan was inconsolable, feeling betrayed by Jess's betrayal of her trust. "That wasn't your story to tell, Jess, and to have you go behind my back is just hurtful. I just wanted your support, and now I can't even trust you anymore," Morgan lamented, her voice heavy with anguish. "I'm sorry. I just didn't want him getting away with what he did to you," Jess replied, her tone heavy with regret. Resigned to the situation, Morgan turned away, tears streaming down her cheeks. Jess reached out to stop her, but Morgan slammed the door shut, leaving Jess alone with her thoughts. Feeling defeated and emotionally drained, Jess sank into her computer chair, the weight of the day's events bearing down on her. Just then, Tess Spring burst into the room, her urgency palpable as she pleaded for Jess's help. As Jess braced herself for yet another ordeal, she couldn't help but think that this day would never end.
And I'm good with goodbyes, but I straighten out your face while you steady your lies. See the pain in your face when you losing your mind. Got post-traumatic stress, you lost the feeling in highs. See the horrors of war. If you saw someone dying, would you open the door? On my job, highlighting the core. My words bless you, yes, you feeling annoying. Everybody wanna ramble, they don't get to the point. Your girl like a clown, I just